What's up, guys? How are you today on this fantastic Tuesday? I hope you're all doing well, staying safe out in the craziness. I'm very excited because here we are in the middle of a day, in the midst of a quarantine, a pandemic rather. And I'm actually very thankful that at the moment it's starting to rain, which means all that nasty pollen is going away. Praise the Lord. Oh man, how many of you guys deal with pollen allergies? It's the bane of my existence. I love spring and summer, but dang. Allergies are the devil. Anyway, I was planning to have this live stream tonight. That's one of the things I'm having to do recently is when I create YouTube videos, just in the midst of all this craziness, I'm having to record at really weird hours, sometimes early morning and late at night. But here we are, have a perfect hour right now where kids are asleep. It's a very nice feeling. So I suppose if I need to get up in the middle of this, go take care of somebody, I will. But really excited just to kind of in the daytime when I have fresh energy to be able to write music. Because I don't know about you guys, but it's hard to break your rhythms. Like I naturally have a lot of energy in the morning. I want to write, I want to work. But man, when it gets like late night, having to restructure and retrain my brain to be able to write music at nighttime is very challenging. And that's probably the hardest part of all of this. But hey, I'm very thankful to have consistent work. And it's been great. And so, as always, I'm here to help you guys build a music business that supports your family. And one of the ways we can do that is taking a look at real work and to have these live composition streams, which I want to continue. If you guys like these, let me know. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret though. For those of you who follow me pretty consistently on my YouTube channel, these live composing streams don't get a ton of viewership versus some of my other videos. So if you really do like these and you want to keep these going, then let me know when they upload into the comments. When it uploads as a replay video, either share that with friends and comment and let me know what you think about it. And of course, as always, you can support me on Patreon. And I think I finally have this this chat bar figured out. I think, possibly. I'm going to see if that does anything. And if not, as you can see, I'm typing right now. There we go. Hopefully that works for you guys. But if you guys want to support me on Patreon, that's something that I'm really trying to pump into right now and to give a lot of value for you guys who want to go more one-on-one with me and you want to get direct music feedback from me, or you perhaps want to share your projects and that kind of thing. That's the place to do it. It's a new idea for me. It's something I'm still exploring, but if that's valuable for you guys, take advantage of that. And that should be on the screen right now, or at least in the live chat. You can check that out. And one more thing I want to let you know about is right now, I just updated all of my courses. That's a big deal. Let me show you real quick. If you just go to my website, stephenmillen.com or stephenmillen.com/courses, you'll notice that everything's 20% off. I hope that makes it more accessible for those of you in financial hardship right now. And perhaps you want to improve your composition and production skills, or you want to improve your video game implementation skills, working with middleware, or maybe you have a business and you're really trying to step it up and make more money with gigs. And, maybe you're just in a situation that right now you're not working as much as you want to be. And that's really challenging for a lot of people. And especially as freelancers, that's something that I'm very passionate about, helping you guys have consistent work. That's a big deal. But anyway, so a little bit of info there for you to know if that's something that can help you during this time where perhaps you have a little bit more time off or a little more time that you can invest in yourself during this season to prepare for the next season. Hope you'll take advantage of that and some of the discounts. But anyway, here we are for the next hour. I'm going to be pumping in to a brand new track today for Monster Sanctuary, which is a game I've been working on for a while with composer Peter Jones. And this track that we entered in with was actually the Oracle track that we worked on last week. Got this thing approved. It's a really cool track. I've really enjoyed really all the tracks we've worked on. And today I'm going to be starting a new track. It's going to be another 1-minute loop. I love 1-minute loops because they're short. I can usually knock out a 1-minute loop in one sitting. 2-minute loops usually take about 2 to 3 sittings. Just the focus is a little bit different. It takes a lot longer. And this I feel like is going to be an easier track to knock out because it's called the Sadness theme. So this game, as you're playing, just throughout, there's moments where you might make a bad decision as a character, or you might lose one of your monsters, or you die, or whatever. And that's what this theme is going to come into play. And so it doesn't need to be overly complicated. It's easily just going to be an A and a B theme that loop seamlessly. And so to start a new track within Cubase, I just hit my marker shortcut here. We're going to type in Sadness theme. And I even have 2 different markers. Some of my favorite parts about Cubase is the organization. You can have multiple marker tracks in multiple folder organizing features. So if I track, I'm putting Sadness theme. I like to give myself 1 bar free before I write music. And then let's pick a section marker. And so I'll just call this A. We're gonna keep it really short and sweet today. It's only 1 minute. And then I want to pick a tempo, 1 bar before the A. That way, if I ever need to go back and edit things, it's a piece of cake. And this is especially true when collaborating with other people using the same session that I'm sharing with Peter. When we both make edits, we want to make sure that, we're keeping our info consistent. So yeah, the Sadness theme is going to be right here. So 795. I want to mark that probably a little bit slower than some of these other tracks. I'm going to turn my click on. I like the idea of just a 4/4 theme. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can always slow it down as needed, and we'll go from there. I do want to give a quick shout out to Jeremy in the audience. He's like, hey, I can't see anything. Is that normal? That's not normal. Can you still not see anything? I sure hope not. Okay, cool. Chance in the chat said, I can see fine. I think it's on your end. Yeah. Please let me know if there's ever any tech glitches. That's not cool. To the best of my knowledge, since I'm using Streamlabs OBS, I can always monitor what's happening. So I can actually see all my levels. I can see what videos you're seeing, what screens you're seeing. So looks all good on my end. But yeah, cool. Let's jump in here. So we have the A section that's going to start 1 bar in. And I just chose a 70 BPM. And what I want to do is mark out, if this is the starting point at A, look down here at my time code. So it says 2308. So I need to have 2408 when we're done. So let me scroll ahead. 2408, or the closest thing to it, which is right there. It's perfect. I'm going to put a marker. I'm going to call it 1 minute loop. And that way we know exactly how far to write. And then I can take my looper bar at the top, slide him back so that it lands right there. And now when I hit my 1 key on my keyboard, which is this right here, I have shortcuts. I use the same shortcuts as Pro Tools, just because Pro Tools is the one DAW you can't change shortcuts, but every other DAW you can. So in Cubase, I just map all of these to what Pro Tools would do. So in Pro Tools, you can hit 1 and it takes you to the beginning of your looper bar. So I hit 1, and then you'll notice right here, it takes my cursor all the way back to the beginning, which is very, very nice, which means I can always recycle that loop. And then boom. Robin in the chat somehow found an emoji that looks like a dab. That looks amazing. Very cool. You got to teach me how to find that one. I'm going to start using that. That's awesome. But yeah, here we are. So let's write some music, shall we? So we already know that our loop, it's not that long, see? So I want to count these out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perhaps right there is where we do a B theme. And it's probably 16 bars even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we actually have 2 bars at the end that would be extra. So what I'm going to suggest is we treat this first one as an intro, go 2 bars in, create an A. Actually, no, that's silly. That's silly. I'm overcomplicating this. Let's just slow down the tempo, right? So what I can do is, if I want my 1 minute loop to end here, which is 2 bars less, all I have to do is make sure that the end point is synced up. So right here, let's go back to where you can see the screen. If the start time is 23:08 and we want it to end at 24:08, then I set my marker exactly where I want the song to end. And it needs to say 24:08. It says 24:03, so it needs to be 5 seconds slower. So I can go over here to my tempo, drag it down. Let's try 66. It does not solve it. It gets close though. It's at 7 seconds. Let's try 64, and there it is, 24:04. So a common question that I get from composers is, how do you set your tempo, or how do you know what tempo to choose? And well, the honest answer is let the project do it for you, because I was hired for 1 minute of music for this particular track. So what that means is I'm going to set my markers so that it naturally does 8-bar phrases or 4-bar phrases. So here's an A section for 8 bars, and here's a B section for 8 bars. It's a perfect 1 minute loop, and I haven't even written a single note. But the tempo is now decided for me because it fits perfectly within the parameters. And then now at this point, I just need to follow the brief. And the good news about this particular track is there is no brief. I've been working with the developers long enough now, and we're 10 tracks or whatever into this soundtrack. So they trust me, and they know that I'm going to follow the tone and the genre, the style of the game. So at this point, I'm literally I was given a blank canvas, and they said, all right, cool, you know what to write. So here we are, we're gonna do it. So I feel like this is definitely going to be a piano tune with maybe any kind of woodwind on top, a solo woodwind to help give it some sadness. So we're gonna write in a minor key, probably gonna do quarter notes or some kind of pulse with the piano just to kind of give it some kind of motion, and then we'll write a melody on top. All right. And I was talking to Peter the other day. He was very kind, and he complimented me on the pianos and the keyboards for this soundtrack. We created our own samples from scratch. I created the initial version where I created my own samples from a bunch of different things. But I think I agree. I think I really like all the pianos I've chosen and kind of created in the 16-bit style. So stylistically, I want to focus on making sure that whatever I play, it should be melancholy. That's the word I like to use. So I want to not necessarily be in a minor at all times, but I want to really take advantage of 7th chords and 9th chords. Those are really the heartstrings of harmony. Right? Something like that. So I'm just playing around with 7th and 9th chords within an A minor. So let me just jam for a minute and let me see what feels right in the context of 64 BPM at 4/4 time. Click, 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 click. So let me just kind of play around for a second. Maybe something in that vein. I think that's pretty cool. And I think Peter makes a great point. And Peter, co-composer, assistant composer on this soundtrack. So glad you're here. He says, I also find it fascinating as heck how major chords can drive sadness even harder. I think I agree with you in the context of if you mean major chords with minor chords on top. And that's what a 7th chord is, right? So in F major is F, A, C, right? But if you put the E on top, it's actually an F chord with an A minor on top. And that's why you don't know how to feel, because it's both happy and sad at the same time. But if you do this again and stack it even more, what you're actually doing is you're taking an F major, a C major, with an A minor in the middle. So now it is 2 parts happy, 1 part sad. If you do it again, we have an E minor on top. So now it's actually 2 minors and 2 majors. If you go all the way to the highest extent, which is, let's see, it's a 7, 9, 11, 13. If you go to a 13 chord, it's now uneven again. And now we have more sad than happy. And that's obviously where we get into some pretty rich jazz harmonies. So really, I'm going for melancholy here. I like that initial idea I had there. Kind of going back and forth between F major, which is I don't necessarily want to resolve, but let's just play around for a little bit. I think we have the margin to do that. I think with sad themes or very melodic themes, less is more. So I'm not going to have 15 instruments stacked on top of each other with drums or whatever. This really just needs to be like piano and maybe a melody on top. Something like that. Here we go, let's get our tempo. Let me feel it out. So I like that modulation. So I want to start with F major 7, but I'm actually putting a G on top, which actually makes it an F9. So it's an E minor 7, back to the F9, and now an A9. Which is A minor 9. Cool, so let's write that in. Get my tempo. Nice and slow. Hey, what's up, TG? Now the B section. It's an E flat major 7 to a D minor 7. Same thing with a 9. Let's modulate again to a D flat major. It's close, almost had it. But the idea is to do a loop there. Yeah. That's deeply sad. So let's take it, let's quantize everything to quarter notes. I want it to be very spacious. Womp, 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 womp. So what I'm talking about is I want to have something in the background. Like that. I want this low D, the resolution to be 1 octave lower. And way softer with my velocity. Kontakt does a great job of automatically creating velocities for your volumes. These are all Kontakt patches we made. There we go. Let me clean up the pedal. Pretty nice. So whenever you do extended harmonies, which is the concept of 7th, 9th, 11th, and 13th chords, you always got to be careful that you are finding some kind of common tone to glue all the chords together. So what that means is, perhaps, as we're doing right here, I'm really just walking around, I don't want to say random chords, but chords that are they're not scalar, but they're modal, and they're chords that are connecting. So for example, I'm really just playing an F chord to an E minor, to a D minor, and I'm just kind of walking down. But then when I go to the modulation, I'm doing an E flat major, D flat major, B flat major. So there's nothing super complicated about the chords, but what makes this interesting is if I can find some kind of common note that is connected between every single chord, then they're going to feel like they're more connected. So what I might try is taking an A, D, E, G. So I think if we squish them all together, it looks like this. So the D, E, G, A. It's not even a chord necessarily, it's just a cluster of notes. And it's 2 major seconds. So it has no tonality. You can't even call it like a D minor, an E minor, G. It really has no tonality. What makes this interesting is if you now move around your left hand, to the E, to the D, and then I can do the same thing. I can even go to E flat. Interesting. Even though it obviously is a little unsettling, it works and it connects, and I think that's really cool. So that's what I'm trying to do in this background, is as the piano's kind of moving around these modal changes, I'm trying to have one consistent idea in the background. So let's try putting that in. Might not be those exact inversions. That's my favorite. More or less outlines an A minor 7. But what I'm trying to do is A, D, E, G. So you could call it an A2 or an A sus2, an A sus for 7. You know, it doesn't really have much of a tonality, but it's a little cluster. Now it has some motion behind it. Here we go. And that can help move it along a little bit more. Again, I think I'm going to change my thumb note. Oof. Jeez. It's a cool idea. Isn't that fun? Might work with the right volume levels. Heck yeah, to the choir pad. I think I need to use a little more space with all this. Here we go. Let the delay do its thing. D minor, or D suspended. But don't resolve yet. Gotta figure that one out. Don't want to go that upbeat, but what does this remind me of? Oh man, flippin' ripped off Zelda. Like, straight up. Not exactly. It's a couple chords off, but still. Oh well. Moving on. I still like it. That's so nice. I love this choir pad. That's my favorite patch in the whole thing. So what I'm trying to do is keep the 2 chords that we've been really working on. So, not to get overly music theory on you guys, but like for those who care or understand it, the left hand that I was doing, like the little that whole thing, that I'm trying to outline that with these choir pad. And Chance says, that feel when you want the Link's Awakening remake, but you don't want to pay $60 for it. I know, right? For the 5 seconds that I had a Switch, I did play it. It was good. I'm not sure it was $60 good, but it was good. And Robin says, I don't feel like you're in plagiarism territory. Go with the chords if you like them. That's right. I don't feel like it's plagiarism at all. There, I like that inversion. So it's a G, A, E to an F, G, C. There we go. Counting in. Does that make it too happy and fun and adventurous? I'm going more of like a Chrono Trigger route here. I need something sad on top of this. Wow, my chords get all kinds of out of control there. I kind of like that strings. That's like a love theme. So I gotta be a little careful here not to go too much into that territory. Don't want to overdo it. And also, I only can use what I have right in front of me. And that's a limitation that's very challenging. But I think I might also be totally ripping off. Wow, I just totally transposed. The entire fairy fountain. The original is. Really cool stuff. Okay, too Christmassy, too Zelda. What are we gonna do about that? Let me try something. Never done a delay on the choir pad. I think this might be a good opportunity to try it. That way we're not adding a new instrument, but we're doing something. That way it just gives it some breath without overly doing it. I'm gonna play with it. I think that's gonna be a great solution. Yeah, I like that. I guess I'm hoping for more of a, might be the feedback. There it is. Just more of a presence, so I don't have to play it as long. thoughts on that? What do you guys think? Peach T in the chat says, I think one thing you could try to differentiate a bit is to add an oboe or English horn melody. Usually that reedy sound is very RPG-ish. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not a timbre that we've added into the soundtrack, and we're very late in the game where we're only using what we have here to work with. So the closest thing would be my synth flute or synth cello, which I can try adding. I haven't even added a melody yet. That's the thing. I'm just trying to get that harmony right. I want to fill in the space, and the melody will soar on top of this. But I'm trying to put something in the background with the delay, wah, wah, wah. That way it'll help fill that space, but I'm not taking it over with the piano either. So let me keep trying. I think I got my chords. I'm also really trying here to keep my chords close together, so a G, A, C. Trying to keep 3 notes at a time to keep it consistent. Pretty good. I think we got a good first half in all of this. And let's fix that. The 7th doesn't work in that. I think it'd be a cool spot to put the melody in the choir. Let's clean up all this. That might be the best possible instrument for melody, is this bell. Yeah, I like that. Well, that'll be real, yeah. Be good for the first half. There's one note I wanted to add. I think that's a better chord progression that we should play with. Holy screens, there we go. I'm gonna get super lost here, but alright, so we have E flat. So what we have here is E flat major 7, D minor 7, E flat, D flat. So here we have E flat, D, and then we're gonna move on. pretty cool. That's some really advanced ninth chord modulating, but I think it's fun. It works out. Okay, D flat. Write these blasted chords down. It's just bothering me. Here we go. E flat major 7. Let's go each one real quick. D minor 7. E flat major 7. Yeah. Same thing. D minor 7. Is anyone actually following this? I don't even know. And then D flat major 7 to G flat major 7, and then E with like a little passing tone. Just call it E, and then C sharp suspended. Whew. That's something else right there. You could call it D flat, but it doesn't really function as a D flat. Here we go. Yay, theory. I'm just gonna start right there. So it's like a sub melody. Now, interesting. Even though I'm changing harmony every note. That's how you do it, folks. All right. Cool. It's a little exhausting. really Chrono Trigger land. That's Mitsuda territory. Come on, Peter Jones. I felt like he just channeled himself through me. So this is actually an E over C. Not an E over X. That sounds cool. So, how do I even make this happen? I don't know, but it has to happen. So we did. Ooh. That's what I was looking for. Also a Peter Jones chord. Also a Mitsuda chord. Just an E minor, but in the midst of all this, it sounds cool. I'm not even sure any of these chords match anyway. Cool, let's put it in. Cool. Is that really a Final Fantasy X progression, Mitch? Wouldn't doubt it. The great way to add tension is to use passing chords that are chromatic to the very next note up. This bass in, and then we got to wrap it up since it's go time. But this is a lot of fun, guys. I wish I had more time to finish it. not perfect, but you kind of get the idea. Gotta work on, like, I have to find a consistent rhythm to do with this bass line. That's the idea. I'm sure there's a lot of places I could do some fretless bass sliding. So yeah, there's a lot to still do here, but I'm riding that line between happy and sad, and I want to keep it more on the melancholy, sad side. So I think gotta be a little bit more careful here to be more simple. I'm definitely throwing a lot of ideas out, but I think all in all, it's headed a good direction, and I think, you know, I'll work with Peter a little bit on this to make sure we can get this thing right. But cool, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you guys so much for being a part. It's always a pleasure. Doing these live composing streams. If these are interesting for you and you like being a part of these, let me know when the replay comes up, because that's how YouTube decides whether or not to share it with people and the recommended videos and all that kind of stuff. And as mentioned earlier, if you're interested in taking advantage of my courses right now, which are 20% off, let me show the screen here. If you go to stephenmalin.com, it's actually the homepage now. We go to stephenmalin.com/courses, and you can check them out right now if you want to improve your composition skills, such as composition, production. Maybe you want to start implementing your video game music into middleware and different types of software to be ready for game devs, or maybe you just want to amp up your business skills and really jump into that. That's going to be a great place for you to go, stephenmalin.com. Thanks, guys, for being a part. It's a lot of fun. Let's play out the current demo, the work in progress. It's certainly not done. We have a little bit of work to do on this before it's complete. But thanks for being a part, and I hope you enjoy as we play out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow when a new video launches. Tomorrow we're actually doing it's a composer chat with composer Chris Logston. He's a member of the Screen Music Academy. And we talk about how to sell video game music. So if any of you perhaps are in a position where you have less income than normal, this might be exactly the chat that you need to listen to learn how you can start selling your video game music online and making some money through music packs, because that is a very profitable business if you do it right. And there's a cool link that I'll share tomorrow, so make sure you check that out, 10 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. Cool. You guys have a good one. Y'all guys. Ugh, what's happening to me? See you guys.